So I was in Cocoa Beach, and I went and took pictures of a new mural. I'll show you more pictures of it later. But then basically, then I went to Cocoa Beach. I walked across the street to the beach, and I took a picture from a distance of the canopy. I didn't even see what I took a picture of, and it's a sea oat sucking a cloud, just like that. And I had just asked God to send me a sign if the stuff that I'm thinking about is real, because I've been going through a lot these last 5 years, getting memories back. This is a angel um, palm tree outside my hotel, and that's a car windshield. And look at the reflection. Look at the reflection on the windshield. Oh, my camera's not doing good. I haven't though. I haven't. I'll show you. You can see it there. You can see it there. When you blow that up, it's crazy. So I'll show you. So these are some of my pictures surfing and stuff. This is one of El Chapo's sons. He got shot 50 times. He's dead. I do believe he's my son. This is La Katrina. La Katrina. She drew me that picture. I taught her how to surf in Hawaii. I didn't know her name. She died. That's her mom. That's her granddad. She died on I didn't know her name was La Katrina, because I didn't remember her, because I taught these little girls how to surf 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011 in Hawaii, and they spoke Spanish. Now, she died on my mom's birthday after my dad's funeral, and Juan Pablo Escobar made the video with the body cams of the police officers. So so she was supposedly in a CJNG, Cartel Jalisco, the New Generation Cartel, and she was in a shootout with them. But all that stuff is fake news. This is my mom's birthday after my dad's funeral, and I had the pencil drawing and the girl with the gold gun, because there's like 5. If you Google La Katrina, CJNG, Maria Lopez Guadalupe Esquivel, MS-13, basically kind of stands for Maria Escobar, Pablo Escobar's 13-year-old wife, Manuela Escobar, and that's me and Manuela, and my ex-wife, Maya Dari del Sol. So all of Pablo Escobar's daughters are Maria Lopez Guadalupe Escovel La Katrina, and he has thousands of daughters, because we're in a spy program called Majestic 12. 2 ovary eggs per month taken, hosted in a nanny birth canal. 24 babies per year for 24 years. So one cartel boss daughter can have 576 kids, and the drug money goes into the stock market as donations, churches. That's my son, Angelo Torres. I didn't even know my ex-wife got pregnant, and after we got divorced, she didn't tell me. It's my Russian ex-wife, Dr. Trey. That's Nikita Surf. I named her Nikita Surf in 1996. I forgot about her. Her name's Julia. She came back to USA with Anna Menitskaya Ivanova, and I said that she looked like Putin's daughter, and she's married to Peter. Peter is Tupac's son, and that's Jamie Foxx and Dr. Dre. Um, surf camp in Nicaragua. It's our surf camp. I forgot about. We bought land all over Central South America as teenagers. That's them in 2004. There's me with some LAPD cops. 2008, there were secret negotiations in LA. And this is Merrill Lynch is the cocaine, black ops, CIA, war on drugs firm. Merrill Lynch is the Irish Catholic firm. I guess that means IRA. Republican, not Democrat. The Catholic Church is Democrat. This CIA, Democrat. Is the Vatican. We launder drug money through the churches or connected to the churches with fake names, fake socials, but more like a number to count, just a number. And drug money goes to stock market donations. Churches, billions of dollars a year turns into trillions. We're the Wall Street cartel. Anyways, the CIA Russian spies reveal shocking evidence a plot to assassinate Trump using a Mexican cartel hit team. This article came out 2017, and that's when I had my first psychosis. I thought that the Sinaloa cartel and MS-13 and Los Pepis found us, and basically I was tripping out. I put 100 videos on Facebook and through the years, getting my memories back. So Robert Escobar, since there was so much hate for Trump, Robert Escobar, Little Bear, Lenny Robert Escobar, Little Bear, raised $10 million to impeach Trump. That didn't work, so Brad Pitt endorsed Biden. This told the DEA spies that Brad Pitt and Pablo Escobar wanted, Trump not to be president anymore. So to do voter fraud. There's voter fraud every election. So basically, I have kids with 3 of Pablo's daughters. Married to 2 of them. Mind control, I agreed to CIA mind control in 11th grade. Riverside Military Academy. That guy looks like me, that kid right there, but I don't think it is. It's not. Anyways, this is a cool picture. La Katrina. Pablo Escobar, Merrill Lynch, $400 million. He got busted 1989, 90. That was taken out of the stock market, probably given to Vladimir Putin and Gorbachev for the fall of the Soviet Union, 1991. There was 84 missing suitcase nuclear bombs. 84 missing suitcase nuclear bombs. It was actually 8,400 missing suitcase nuclear bombs. The fall of the Soviet Union was done for the CIA to get the Ukraine's nuclear bombs for the war now, for the New World Order. So basically, I asked my lawyer. See, my mom hired my lawyer because I had COVID. And I almost died. And then someone told me to get some meth and blow it out of my body. So I got $40 worth of meth. I Googled it and read about it. And boom, I blew it out of my body. And then I went into a tweak. Trying to make a good video. Now, I told my... And I freaking was making videos and deleting them and making them and deleting them and making them delete. And then sometimes I wouldn't delete them and I'd keep on making them, and it wasn't good. I'd mess up, and so I was freaking high trying to make a video to put on Facebook to freaking to complain about some shit. And then basically I wasn't making a good one. I was either I was trying to make it. It was either trying to make it funny, and then it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I was freaking high, and I was almost dead from COVID. And then finally, 10 hours later, it was 10 hours trying to make a video. And then 10 hours later, some girls showed up that speak Spanish. And then they grabbed my phone, they took my phone, and then they ended up uploading the one that was the shortest video or something. I don't know. They uploaded the videos. They took the phone from me. And basically, I didn't upload them. And they'll testify that they uploaded them. And then all I did was ask Rusty Franklin to Google Carlos Ledher and click images. And he did not do it. He did not do it. That's amazing. He's a cocaine cowboy. And they've had an island in the Bahamas. But it's only supposed to be one person. I'm going to show you like 20 Carlos Ledhers. And they all lived in Lakeland on Gachet. Now, my friend John Blazer, 20 years Air Force, best friend, 5 tours to the Middle East. He remembers Carlos Ledher Island. He remembers them on our street. They were way down the street, though. They weren't on our street. They were like in the neighborhood. And they never came around my mom because my mom couldn't know that I was being raised to fake Pablo Escobar's death. So basically, if you Google Lenny, Pablo Escobar's 16-year-old pilot. If you YouTube Lenny Denny's commercials from the 80s. If you YouTube Lenny Denny's rap song. Anyways, there was hundreds of planes flying every day from the Bahamas to Florida. But where did they fly to? Well, if you Google Carlos Ledher newspapers, articles, they're in every newspaper in the whole world. Carlos Ledher and Pablo Escobar articles in every paper in the world probably, except for Lakeland Ledger. No articles about Pablo Escobar or Carlos Ledher in Lakeland Ledger because they live in Lakeland. And anyways, there's another Carlos Ledher, and basically I just told him to and then basically look, the first one is DEA for Fast and the Furious, and basically running guns for the feds. So there's actually some record. If you do a background search on me, there's records that I was DEA, and I took criminal justice classes, and basically I thought I was just CIA spy, but I thought there was no I thought there was no records of me at all as being a spy, but I didn't know there was some DEA records. Now this is during his trial, because when the Democrats found out this is a Republican thing, kind of, because it's a 200-year plan to change the United States into communism. If you watch A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing on YouTube, it's an hour and 25 minutes. A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. It tells you how the Catholic Church, because that's our government. Our government is the Vatican, CIA, Deep State, Rothschild. That's kind of our government. We're like secret Rothschilds and Rockefellers and shit or something in Polk County, in Brevard County, because it's Eastern Time Zone. Wall Street Cartel, and Al Capone and Adolf Hitler had thousands of kids each, because Majestic 12, one girl can have 506 kids, and they saved Jewish girls, turned Catholic, and then boom, they brought them back to the United States. They probably even mind controlled them, and they probably didn't even know that they were, who knows. You could mind, I did not even remember Pablo Escobar. I didn't even remember, I've been 5 years I've been getting memories back. So this just says that during his trial in Jacksonville, he was part of an elite United States Marshal Service team, which provided threat intelligence information in support of protecting the federal judges. So it just pretty much says he's in a spy program. And then basically there it is again, part of the secret deal between the Sinaloa cartel and DEA. And then, Carlos Ledher Island to Lakeland Ledger County. And then, Strength of the Wolf. And then this is Vincent, the Prince of Sinaloa, drug lord El Mayo's son. So I was thinking that, it was my dad's son, because I took him skateboarding and shit when I was little, in Joplin, Missouri. So I went to college in '89. I went to college in Joplin, Missouri for a few years, and I would go skate Rad Skate Park in Springfield, Missouri. It's still there, and I think Brad Pitt owned it, because basically if you he endorsed Biden. If you Google, there's like 3,000 Sicarios that were flying planes for Pablo Escobar, and then they turned. Sicarios, you're sick, you're gonna burn in hell. You're sick, you're gonna burn in hell. That's like a Catholic Italian thing to say to your husband and your son, I guess. That's what my mom says to me and my dad. So Pablo Escobar named my dad Sicario. My dad took me to see Scarface 3 times. If you look it up, Scarface is supposedly Al Capone's character. Well, my cuckoo Nana's dad is Al Capone, and my dad's granddad or whatever is Adolf Hitler, and they both had thousands of kids. And so basically, Carlos Ledher's are either Al Capone's or Adolf Hitler's kids or grandkids or nephews. And so basically, but they actually had more. They actually had about 1 million kids. So, if they had their nut taken out, hooked up to a machine or something so it stayed alive, and then it was a fertility clinic. And when you round up girls and bring them to the freaking concentration camp, well, they start having their periods the same week. The same day. And then basically get them pregnant the same day, and the nurses got them pregnant. So I'm sure that there was a lot of girls that met soldiers and fell in love, and then they used their sperm and all that stuff. But basically, most of the nurses were paid and told to use probably Adolf Hitler's and Al Capone's. That's what the money, gangster money goes for. Is family, is to make have a lot of kids, because if you have a lot of kids and you're trying to freaking help rule the world instead of being enslaved, well, you got spy kids watching your back, and basically, then you don't have to kill. You don't have to kill because you got so many freaking people watching each other. You can kill, and you work for the government, but then you also have people that don't work for the government, but your bankers, your police, your military, your pilots, and your farmers, FFA, Future Farmers of Americas, fall from grace. I do believe that some of us are the fallen angels that faked Jesus' death and didn't want him to take that beating. And then I don't know if he started to get crucified or what, I don't know. But for some reason, I think that this Pablo Escobar right here is it's either God the Father, like the Creator, came down in man's, and the rapture happened hundreds of thousands of years ago, and because he would, or it's Jesus Christ, 44 years old, and then he got here, 400,000 years ago or so, at 33 years old. He faked his death at 33 years old, and then it took, the last 400,000 years, he aged 10 years, something like that. So I don't know for sure what's going, or it's my uncle. So basically, I mixed it up with, because we are at the end times, basically, I don't think I deserve a mental hospital for freaking fiction writing a book, and then also getting memories back, and also, working on my pineal gland, my third eye. I don't drink, I don't smoke. Trying to live right, and then basically, and I'm freaking getting these downloads of information. And if you watch, if you don't understand it, well, watch 14 generations of memories stored on your DNA. 14 generations of memories stored on your DNA, and then basically watch videos on how to activate your third eye. So basically, which is our spiritual antenna, but the government and churches put fluoride in the water, and it calcifies the third eye. So we don't know as much, and then we're indoctrinated. were indoctrinated through religion. They took all these books out of the Bible. I've been researching for the last 5 years what Jesus taught, and that's basically to activate your third eye and use your DNA the way it's supposed to be. And so that's what I've been doing. So basically, I've been to 5 colleges, and I'm a licensed banker, Series 766. And basically, I got that license when I had a Russian fiance, which turned out to be my Russian wife. And I did not tell my parents I got married. And then I moved to Hawaii and stuff, and moved to LA. I quit working at Merrill Lynch. I only went to work at Merrill Lynch just to have proof of income to get my Russian wife over. And I had to, because I got arrested for fake Oakleys. Fake Oakleys come from the Hong Kong triads in Chinatown, and they also have ecstasy. But I didn't link them together because I had no memories, because I wasn't thinking about, in the 80s, you could go to a club in Austin, Texas, and buy ecstasy. And get in the club pay to get in the club and get a free hit of ecstasy. And that ecstasy came from the Hong Kong triads, Pablo Escobar's partners, CIA mercenaries, ninjas, monks, medicine men. And then basically, if you Google meth head surfers, and click the third article down, I'm going to post it. Hong Kong triads introduced ice to Hawaii, ice, crystal meth, that's all over Lakeland, in 1993, because they didn't have cocaine. Their money flow from cocaine was not there, because it was a transition of Pablo Escobar supposedly going to get killed, and then basically Cali Cartel and everybody transitioning to the Sinaloa Cartel, which was established in 1989. I moved to Oklahoma in 1989. Tanzania Square, Hong Kong triads saved hundreds of college kids from government crackdown in Tanzania Square, China. And then also 1989, Avianca Airlines was blown up, supposedly by Pablo Escobar, and everybody on the plane died. But I do believe that everybody on the plane faked their death, except for the one that Pablo Escobar wanted to kill. And then they put freaking the spies that freaking, or some people that, spies that were really trying to kill Pablo Escobar, they put them in the plane. So I do believe that they faked, because were faking deaths. And so I'll prove it later with a good video. So basically, just tells how to, about the laundering money. But they, no one's ever said, donations, churches. Drug money goes into the stock market as donations, churches. Anyways, kind of. It doesn't really have to be on the books of the churches, but county by county, it does, because meth funds all the place. And then basically cocaine, $250 kilo of cocaine, coca paste. Anyways, the best paper in the world comes from coca leaf. The Bible, the scrolls of the Bible the Bible was rewritten on scrolls of paper, I do believe. I do believe the Bible originated in Egypt, and the sun god from Egypt is the exact same thing as the one but I'm not sure. I haven't studied it, but that's what I think. So I think it was more of the Egyptian story, and then basically it just got changed. But because you're not supposed to add to the Bible or take anything away, and the Catholic Church took out all the books of the Bible and then changed it before translation. And then basically, this is why I got arrested. I remembered that 2003, there was suitcase nuclear bombs missing from the CIA. The CIA was looking for Russian suitcase nuclear bombs, and the report says they didn't find them. Well, the DEA spies always find them. The black market knows you freaking sell them to you sell them to Lenny Robert Escobar, Little Bear. Get a freaking boom. Go up against the freaking deep state if we have to. And basically that's what the plan was. And so basically the plan was, Adolf Hitler's plan, it started, I guess, is to have these suitcase nukes on timers all over the world. So basically you had to be free and alive to turn them off. And if you have to freaking encase them in some kind of black tile, so like the NASA space shuttle tile, so demon aliens can't see the radiation. So if they can't see the radiation, they can get their spaceships blown up if they land at the schools to take our children. So you know how they say, no, drugs can't be a certain distance from the school? Well, the certain distance from the school, there's suitcase nuclear bombs to blow up fucking a spaceship that lands to take our kids. Because that's the reason why that they're going to come down. Every 10,000 years, the Earth axis flips. Every 10,000 years, the Earth axis flips. And I think that all the aliens show up, billions of aliens, and they go to our schools or whatever to get our kids, because they don't want us. We're old. They don't want us. We're old. They want our kids. They want to take our kids' ovary eggs, like we take our kids' ovary eggs, and like Jesus takes our kids' ovary eggs, and fertilize them with sperm, and freaking then have beautiful freaking kids to freaking eat, have sex with, marry, try to have kids with, clone, all that shit. So basically, we don't want that. So we got suitcase nukes on timers in case we lose this, so we don't lose the war by freaking, people, humans, not believing us, and freaking, this has been a big plan. So basically, I mentioned suitcase nuclear bombs. I don't know. I said that I do believe I said that Matt Williams had the bombs, and I had to fucking turn them off. And basically, if I didn't turn them off, then basically, because they weren't in Florida on the Eastern time zone. They weren't in Florida on the Eastern time zone. And I think that Hurricane Matthew, 2017, it was the Wild Wild Caribbean. People smuggled them. And if there's no Hong Kong triads in freaking the Eastern time zone, if they're gone, if they're not here, then that means, the mother lode's here on the Eastern time zone. Because this is where the Wall Street cartel is. Now, basically, we're with Putin. Putin is a CIA asset. Putin runs the DEA spies. Putin runs CIA spies. Republican. Basically, off the books. No book. We don't want a paper trail of our spies and shit. So basically, the Democrats want a paper trail. They want more regulation. Then they want higher taxes. And they want freaking late-term abortion. And they want same-sex marriages. We don't believe in that shit. We don't believe in freaking. We believe more power to the freaking people and to freaking good gangsters and freaking. I started writing that my sister lied to the police. And she told the police that I said I was going to have the MS-13 kidnap the family. She was afraid for her life, afraid to take the mail. I got arrested for aggravated stalking 2017. She never dropped the charges. I've been going through hell. She never dropped the charges. I can prove that right here, that I did not say that. Because I made the videos that I made back then. I was saying very bad things about MS-13. Like, if they've heard me say that shit, they'd probably kill me. But I didn't mean to, because I got it confused. With this guy on Barrio 18. He has a picture of Maria, Manuela, and Pablo on his chest, and then Putas. I thought he was freaking MS-13. And so basically, and then I was hearing Trump say stuff about MS-13, and then El Chapo put a $100 million bounty on Trump. And El Chapo made me very uncomfortable just hearing the name El Chapo, because basically I've been partying and hanging out with Asians and Mexicans and doing coke and not even thinking about Colombians. And I was married to a Colombian. So I blacked out on cocaine, 1998, on Christmas Eve. And I remembered Pablo Escobar, and I started crying, and I was watching my wife sleep, and I was crying. And then basically, this just says it's proof that this was all planned, and it is a plan. Trump was supposed to become president 30 years after we faked Pablo Escobar's death. So he was supposed to become president the first time 2024. But he came 8 years early to get Nazar Zaka out of prison in Iran. If you Google CIA spies captured and killed in China and Iran, they were captured and killed everywhere and brought to China and Iran. And so basically, human trafficked. So I don't know what happened there. Basically, all I know is that, I started talking about Hezbollah cocoa leaf farmers, and my friend Jim Brothers and Chuck Khalil, they're from Iran, and I used to make jokes with it. Chuck's dad moved him from Toledo, the whole family, to Joplin, Missouri in 1989, so we could be friends. Now look at this. This is in the rain. This is in the rain. In the rain, you can see all kind of stuff, the different realm, or whatever. This is weird. It looks like the M on my hand. Basically, we all have M's on our hands. I have an M in the wrinkle spot somewhere. There we go. There it is. The M. That stands for Mark of the Beast, Majestic 12, and MS-13. Majestic 12 and MS-13 is kind of the same thing in a sense, because, the ovary egg gets taken. Majestic 12. Magic Stick 12. Magic Stick puts the embryo egg back into the birth canal and fertilizes it, and so basically then MS 12, 13, and then basically Mark of the Beast 666. I heard that Mark of the Beast 666, the number of the beast, isn't really a satanic number. It's just like, because everything's been changed. I don't know, but it's not. It's my favorite song. My mom bought me the Iron Maiden album, 666, the number of the beast. She doesn't even know what an Iron Maiden is. And she took me to see a AC/DC concert, Hell's Bells, Highway to Hell. My dad didn't want me to go. So basically, when I went to, my dad couldn't take me to Indian Guys. So basically, my dad couldn't take me to Indian Guys. So, Tom found a Spanish pastor to take me, and it was Pablo Escobar. And so we get there, he was trying to be funny and everything. He was talking broken English, and there's the island, Carlos Ledher Island, 40 miles off the coast. So it was, hundreds of planes a day of American, Italian, financial advisor dads, teenagers, sicarios, bankers, banker dads, and they were getting into banking probably. And then, they might not have flown every day. They, because there are like 3,000 of them or something, because they're all around the world. So I don't really know. All I know is I saw these guys talking to my dad all the time, and I went to show off in front of them, and I karate. You could ask my mom. I karate chopped a dog, and I yelled Hong Kong Phooey, and I karate chopped the dog. I used to take martial arts from when I was little, and basically the dog bit me and put a hole, and then I started bleeding, squirting blood out, 3 holes. That's Merrill Lynch right there. So if you Google Pablo Escobar, Merrill Lynch, $400 million taken out of the stock market in 1989-90, well, that money wasn't laundered the right way. It was laundered to get busted, because there's always money to launder to get busted. So So if you Google Sinaloa cartel, Merrill Lynch, they got fined $26 million for laundering freaking Sinaloa cartel drug money. So basically, but when you deal with the churches, you're like your government. So when you're trying to do it other ways, like through businesses or however they do it, that's not my that wasn't my job. My job was to smuggle bombs all over the world for the New World Order. So that was my job, to smuggle bombs. And I never had hold of the bombs, and I didn't even really realize that they were bombs. It was just containers. Like a whole container would go, like small container would go like in a hole in someone's backyard, like underneath where they're gonna put the pool and shit. So basically, and stuff like that. So basically, I don't even know if it's the stuff that I really did. I can't tell you. So basically, I've been making a fiction book, and like I've been mixing fiction with reality, and basically, like I said, I don't need a hospital, because if I go to the hospital, I've been putting so much stuff on Facebook. Okay, 33 years old. He's 33 years old. Osvito. Osvito's 33 years old, and Carlos Ledher got busted with 3.3 tons of cocaine, and it's talking about how bad it is to, how much trouble he's in and all this stuff, because they're trying to make people not smuggle drugs because the government wants to do it and not have any competition, and basically, and it's high penalties. It's not fair. The government puts the drugs in the count in the country, and then they arrest people for doing drugs and selling drugs, but they arrest people for selling drugs that they don't like. But meth and heroin and fentanyl is definitely different than cocaine and freaking ecstasy. Like, there's some drug dealers that make a lot of money, or a good amount of money, and they have houses and stuff. But all these street level drug dealers selling meth, and they get high on meth and they do meth, they don't, a lot of them are barely even affording their apartments, and they don't work, and you end up everybody. My mom's best friend, only one of my mom's friends reached out to me since, all this, because it was crazy. I'm going to show you a crazy video that's the first video that started it, and basically it's not, it wasn't nice, but guess what? I put all this shit on Facebook, and I was mind controlled to put it on Facebook to let my enemies know that we got suitcase nuclear bombs on timers, and basically not in our neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Should you be buying? No, you should be buying. But the freaking if you're a normal person can't do it, a Mexican, and the Mexicans that mow your yard, well, one week somebody showed up to mow yards, see if they could do it, and they freaking brought their suitcase and then buried it somewhere in your yard. So basically, all these Mexican landscaping business, they put suitcases wherever they want them. So basically, if you Google MS-13 smuggling suitcase nuclear bombs to the United States, and if you Google ISIS smuggling bombs to the United States, the Republican Party started ISIS because freaking September 11th. Okay, Trump is getting arrested. This is what's up. Trump's getting arrested for talking about September 11th, and then there's no weapons of mass destruction, and there was insider trading that was done, that was freaking erased, and it's so obvious. And then Tower 7 came, and it's so obvious, and I could talk about it, and that's what I was talking about too. And the bad people found out about me, and I've been stuck in Polk County and Brevard County with no memories and shit, and stuck because of that. And now they freaking paid my lawyer to freaking have my therapist say that I needed to be in the hospital, and they plan on torturing me and assassinating me in the hospital. That's what they think. That's what they told me. They sent me messages. I can't tell you who they are because I don't know who they are. It's Simon and Simone. I get phone calls. Simon says and Simone says. I don't know if it's my kids. I don't know if it's my friends, but I know it's my kids. My kids, I have a bunch of kids. I had my nut taken. My testicle got taken, like Adolf Hitler's testicle got taken. Adolf Hitler went to make babies with all the Jews because the Jews was God's chosen people. They've got to make babies with Jesus first. So basically, every 10,000 years, we have the Great Reset. The Earth axis flips. Billions of aliens come down and freaking capture humans. We nuke the whole freaking planet. And then, boom, some of us are inside the Earth. Some of us on submarines going to Mars. And some of us get nuked and go to either heaven or hell. But we've been getting reincarnated because we did not crucify Jesus. And I think that December 2nd, 1993, I think that we shot Jesus 3 times instead of Pablo Escobar. Because when I first remember Pablo Escobar, I was thinking that I freaking killed my uncle Pablo Escobar. So basically, and I was crying. So I never thought of Pablo Escobar before in my life, and I came out of mind control. And I'm thinking about Pablo Escobar because I got an overnight package in the mail in Flocka, and it said Google Pablo Escobar, arrest photos and click images. It's a different Pablo Escobar. So, 33 years in prison. 33 years in prison, 3.3 tons of coke. That's the Freemason number. Freemason. So basically, my dad's a Freemason. I'm a Catholic Jesuit. Adolf Hitler's a Catholic Jesuit. He's a politician now, the main one. I got to get a hold of him. I got to get a hold of Ron DeSantis. We remember him from I got to find Brad Swift. He got kicked out of Baghdad. He was going to be a SEAL. He's freaking still under mind control. I finally remember what I'm supposed to say to my people. See, when you mind control people, and you have to, there's a phrase of words you say, and that pops your mind, and then you can start remembering shit, and then you start, and then also, if you have your memories erased and your mind controlled with drugs, well, you have to do the drugs to get your memories back. If you erased your memories with MDMA, ecstasy, and then boom, basically my name Denny. That's the rave drug. It's from the root of a tree. It used to flavor root beer, and and basically it's the wonder drug for PSTD. So all these things say that he was a proclaimed Nazi and stuff. So basically, not there, but basically the other ones. Let me see where it says that. So if you Google Pablo Escobar articles in Lakeland Ledger, there's none. If you Google Carlos Ledher in articles Lakeland Ledger, there's none. There's no articles in Lakeland Ledger about Carlos Ledher. And Carlos Ledher looks almost just like Lakeland Ledger. So, no, it talks about Hitler. So, anyways, basically, so this one looks pretty much like me at one time. That looks like me at one time. They all look like me at one time. That looks like me at one time. They all look pretty much like me. Basically, they're Italian. We're related. Their dad or granddad or uncle is Adolf Hitler, and maybe Al Capone. Pablo Escobar, Al Capone. Adolf Hitler, Al Capone. So basically, they're family. So we all go back to and we're descendants of Jesus. Most of us are descendants of Jesus. This has been going on for a long time. So basically, and if it's not 100% accurate, well, it's not 100% accurate. Well, the Bible's been changed, everything, and basically, if I go, basically, my lawyer, all I did was ask him to. My mom hired him. I asked him to Google Pablo Escobar and click images. Here it is. It says he's obsessed with Hitler. So, because his dad's Hitler. And then my friend Brian Moore, the first weekend I made a psychosis, he put my face on the, he cut my head out and put my head on a Carlos Ledher. And then the one that looked most like me and the same size of the picture, that one right there. And so basically, and everybody else was bitching at me for 4 years to go to rehab and stuff. I've been to 5 drug rehabs, and I've been to 5 colleges now. 5 colleges. I got my Series 7 in 66. I took criminal justice classes the first few years of college, 80, 87, 88, 89, and then I went to college in Oklahoma. Angie Kimmer Zimmer came and got me to go to college in Oklahoma, and then basically look at this. That was on my phone. My phone's hacked. I can prove it. So look, unblock more. It just popped up. Unblock more assistant features. And then it says that is gentle, soothing voice to So I didn't put that on my phone. That popped out right in front of my mom. So basically, so I'm not making this up. Now this is Scopulina. the devil's breath, the angel trumpet, flocka. That's synthesized. Now, flocka is also the basalt flocka, but flocka rhymes with Nazar Zaka. Nazar Zaka was in prison in Iran, espionage charge, and for 4 years getting tortured. 4 years getting tortured. So Trump came to be president 8 years early to get him out. And then him, since Trump was president, I was talking about there's my dad and my mom. So my dad's got, he's different there than there, and then look at him there. And there's my mom. Because my mom looked like that, my sperm was chosen, and because my dad's really smart. And there's me and my friend, and then basically, so and then boom, she's Christina's, and then she's Gina's. And so I showed her this, and then she's not, and she's a Terminator. This one's a Terminator. AI. Clone. Anyways, so I didn't have any kids 2012 when I came back from Hawaii. I had no kids 2012 when I came back from Hawaii. And now I realized that, I didn't know that my nut got taken to make babies. I've just realized it since then, because all of a sudden I have a bunch of kids, like thousands of kids, and so do some of my friends. So basically, it's a pretty cool conversation. It happened because I ran into one of my other daughters on the beach, and then it made me remember everything. So for years I knew I had kids, I knew I taught them how to surf, and I could, because I had no memories and nobody believed me in Polk County, and then they threw me in jail. They thought I was on drugs, and my mom and my sister and my dad, they lied to the police, and they told the police that I said I was going to have the MS-13, kidnap the family. My sister did, so she was afraid for her life, afraid to check the mail. So I got arrested for aggravated stalking, the grossest crime you could get. And basically, I got arrested. She lied. She lied and didn't believe me. Instead of my mom and dad Googling anything, because I would tell my dad, Google Pablo Escobar, small planes, Polk County, Florida, buying missiles for El Salvador. No! Google freaking Pablo Escobar, Merrill Lynch. No! And then basically, then I'd leave because then 2 weeks later, he would want to see me again, and he was dying. It was so awful. It was 4 years of hell, and now they want. Now I'm supposed to get a hold of my people. I was supposed to get a hold of Trump. I called Trump 5 times. My friend Edwin got me the number, and I got Baker acted by freaking Vincent, drug lord El Mayo's son. Vincent. If you Google him, they gave him immunity, but first they freaking were going to give him 30 years in prison. Then 15. He's the Prince of Sinaloa. So basically, I've been traveling the world selling jewelry on beaches. I lived in California. I lived in, traveling the world selling jewelry on beaches. No tax record, but I did go back to college. I went back to college in 2004 when I had a Russian fiance after we, hung out. And she was supposed to work in LA. Then she got switched to Sarasota. And then she switched to Lakeland with Julia, her friend Julia, which is Nikita Surf. And Nikita Surf is my daughter, married to Peter, and Peter's Tupac's son. And then basically, but they're separated. And we're supposed to have Nikita Surf and Save the World tour. And basically, I didn't even remember that she was my daughter. And then I taught her how to surf in 1996 at the same time in Costa Rica while they were faking Tupac's death. And then basically, and so it's been freaking hell. And I think that the Vegas nightclub shooting, is fake. No one died there. That was the hotel that they had the party after they faked Tupac's death. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure because we faked deaths, and I'll show you. I think the people in Tower 2, September 11th, they wanted to stay there and work. I think they robbed the gold. They robbed the gold from the people that were robbing the gold, and they got the help with the Hong Kong triads that are ninjas and shit, and they carried the gold. And because Tower 7 collapsed, the way Tower 7 collapsed, if you watch Back to the Future, 21 times it says September 11th. So basically, there was so much insider trading that was done, options trading. If you buy a put, you puts and calls. If you buy a put, that means put down. You put the phone down. Or if you call somebody, you call up. Call up, put down. So you buy a put, that means down. If you're betting that the price of the stock is going to go down this week, and then boom, you buy a put on the stock of American Airlines, and you buy a put on United Airlines, and they were fronts for the CIA. Those two planes were CIA planes. Those companies were owned by the CIA, and they were taking cocaine around the whole world. But Barry Seal and Carlos Ledher and freaking teenagers, sicarios, they didn't have to be Italian. You know, I don't think Brad Pitt's Italian. Maybe he is Italian. Maybe his name's not Brad Pitt. He looks like one of the kids in my. He's the lead that blocked me. I forgot his name because I told him he looked like Brad Pitt. That was like 3 years ago. So basically, I've been getting back the same memories for freaking 5 years. I got stuck. I'm stuck here. I'm only safe in Polk County and Brevard County from freaking very bad people. The hate for Trump. The hate for Trump was the Italian mafia part of, sex slave trafficking, Italian mafia part that connected to freaking the money for September 11th. And we killed Pablo, and we killed Tupac, and we blew up Avianca Airlines, and we faked it all to gain the trust of the freaking bad people so we could follow the money and be the bankers. And now they know because I've been running my mouth for fucking years, and I've too long, and now they found out. And so basically, it leaked out and shit, and we got suitcase nukes on timers. That's cool. And it's freaking a lot of them, dude. It's not 8,400. It's like 89,000 because everybody chipped in. It's 8675309. It's like 86,000 bombs on timers because basically with the Sicarios kids, and we have thousands of kids each, and I don't even know who any of them are, but they know who I am because I'm like, my dad was like AK the Godfather, maybe, I don't know, but the flight schools, I don't know, but because my dad wouldn't even talk to me and shit. But I do know, my nut got taken. So if your nut gets taken and you're Italian, so basically that means, you got a lot of freaking kids. So basically, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to I'm not even supposed to put this shit on fucking Facebook. I'm not even supposed to freaking talk about this shit. But basically, I'm about to go to a fucking mental hospital because I'm a fucking spy and nobody believes me in Polk County. And my fucking lawyer, the lawyer told, I told the lawyer to Google Carlos Ledher and click images. Now this right here just says that Scopulina has been used since 2015, Flocka, for Alzheimer's research. So I'm done with that. And then boom, this right here shows that I really had no memories. My friend Bo flew to in his own plane to and then basically he had, because You know, I even had, you know, I had to write this because basically I was like, nobody believed me that I had no memories. So basically, my friends did not believe me, did not help me. No one helped me talk to my dying dad. And then basically, now I got freaking my lawyer sold me out to freaking the deep state because they couldn't get a hold of me. So now that they're arresting Trump because for talking about September 11th and being an inside job. And now to make trillions of dollars, because when you do genocide, you make trillions of dollars. But the people that are freaking want to kill Trump, they don't know that we faked. If you Google women and children killed, war on terror, and click images, there's all these kids laying on tables, and these dads acting like they're crying and shit. They're coca leaf farmers now. But I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying that basically all the girls. We went to Vietnam. We freaking did. Adolf Hitler was a Catholic Jesuit, and he freaking had one nut, and basically they made babies. And if you look at the gas chambers, a lot of them were underground. So you basically, a lot of people, and I don't know what happened to the guys. I think they were enriching uranium, and there's people living on Mars. I think that they're from World War II. I think that we made a bunch of babies with descendants of Jesus, and then basically, and that's it. So basically, and I don't know. I do not know. Nobody's told me anything. No one's told me anything. I haven't read anything with this information. It's been getting zapped to my brain. I've just been thinking about it. And now how does that work? Well, because your brain is a freaking computer, and your pineal gland, your third eye, is has been calcified by was it phosphate or I said it earlier. So fluoride. So you have to watch 14 generations of memories stored on your DNA. And basically, we own all the surf camps in Central South America. We need to freaking not be in the United States for the Great Reset. So not be in the United States for the Great Reset. It's time to the dollar's going to crash. You can't keep the dollar that high forever. And basically, and that's about it. So basically, I didn't expect this to, meth is a memory enhancer. Flocka gets your all memories back too. So I erased my memories with MDMA, ecstasy. Best treatment for... So Denny, do ecstasy nightly numerous years. Denny. A little bit cheesy, but I made that up like in 1994. Do ecstasy nightly numerous years at Club Space on SpaceX. So me and my friends used to go to SpaceX. I do believe that freaking, Elon Musk was there. I don't remember talking to him. I remember seeing him. We were all at the same clubs. We went to Club Space in Miami. It's still there. We went to Club Mars in Cocoa Beach, and we went to Club Oz in Orlando. And so basically, now we're going to take Space X and go to Mars. So anyways, that's about it. So that's it for this video. It's an hour long.